What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to Slap the Panini. That was such a 2014-ass intro.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Have you considered that maybe I'm okay with the world ending?
Of course I haven't. Why would I even consider that? Nobody wants the world to end. I mean, maybe some people do, like nihilists, or very, very evil people, but surely you're not one of those.
I've seen the end of the world in this game like 2 or 3 times. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool, actually. Forget it. I'm not doing this.
Are you serious? No, you have to do it.
Do I get some kind of reward?
Yes, but you'll have to slay her before you get it.
Can you tell me what my prize will be for doing a good job?
It's a secret, but I think you'll like it. It's a special reward, just for you. And whatever you think it might be, I can promise you it's going to be even better than your wildest imagination.
Okay, thanks for telling me what to do.
Don't mention it. It's all part of the job. You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them. Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Unless something different happens, I'm gonna try to slay the princess, like, actually. Just want to see what happens if I actually do, like, on purpose, attempt to kill her.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Okay.
You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it.
This time I'm not going to resist the narrator. I'm gonna see if I can slay the princess, as the title would suggest I do.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here. Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
Hey, I think I'm here to kill you.
Oh, are you now? Why don't you come down and let me take a look at you?
Great job. You gave away the element of surprise. Good luck, hero.
At least I'll be upfront about it.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world? Focus on the task at hand.
You weren't kidding when you said you were here to kill me.
It wasn't even a joke.
I know. You brought a knife with you and everything. But you don't have to try and kill me. You could always toss that scrap of metal to the ground and give the two of us a chance to talk things out.
She makes a compelling point. What if we didn't kill her? What if we just dropped the blade and talked? Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster.
We've tried
Killing
talking things
someone in
out.
cold
We've seen what
blood
happens.
Isn't very becoming of us.
Tighten my grip.
You ignore the trembling in your hands and tighten your grip on the blade.
I'm here to slay you.
You poor thing. Your hands are shaking. Are you scared of me? Because you should be.
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
Oh? No talking then? Fine. What even makes you think you can kill me? I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it. So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. End this.
What if she isn't bluffing? What if she kills us?
You go into this expecting to die. You're going to die.
Hesitating? Why don't you drop the knife and the two of us can be civilized with each other?
I'm not dropping the blade.
Then I'm not talking to you.
We don't have to talk. I'm just here to kill you.
You stare at the princess, squinting. She squints back. The two of you are going to do this forever, aren't you?
Just exploring all my options. Squint even harder.
You squint even harder. So does she. At least nobody's dying right now. You're going to have to make a choice. You can't keep squinting forever. Eventually, someone is going to have to blink.
Slay the princess!
You charge the princess, blade trembling in your hand, but you've already lost the battle.
Run up at him. What do you mean? What do you mean I already lost?
She casually sidesteps your thrust before knocking you to the ground with a single blow from her elbow.
Oh, damn it.
We shouldn't have hesitated.
We hesitated so hard.
But she doesn't stop there. She kicks you a few times for good measure, the pointed tip of her shoes feeling like a pickaxe against your fracturing bones, making sure you stay down.
Damn.
As you lie, crushed and broken on the basement floor, the princess kneels on your throat with the kind of weight you didn't think her slight frame could possibly possess. As you gasp for air, she eyes you with an intense curiosity. You shouldn't have let that fear creep into your heart. You had the upper hand, and now look at you.
We gave her so much time to prepare.
Is this really the best you could do? Look at you. Completely broken. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little disappointed.
She applies more pressure, slowly squeezing what's left of your life out of your lungs.
We can surprise her
This
next
is the
time.
end, isn't it? I'm afraid it is. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Chapter 2. The Tower. The Tower?
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that you're here to slay her.
Okay, no.
Oh, don't you start grandstanding about morals. The fate of the world is at risk right now, and the life of a mere princess shouldn't stop you from saving us all. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way.
Okay.
You know I can hear you, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secrets from me. What does it matter what he knows? There's nothing we can do to stop her. She's just going to kill us again. She is not going to kill you.
Voice of
unless
the
you
Broken.
get her.
Dude, that's it.
Slaying the princess and saving the world is going to be much more difficult than it has to be if you spend the whole time second-guessing yourself.
Proceed to the camp. We got a new voice in our head.
Warning. before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying
We'll do it right
her.
this time. We'll do it right.
Don't believe a word she says. We might as well just pledge ourselves to her and stop pretending we're capable of doing anything in this situation. She probably doesn't even need to try to overpower us. Can we tone down the pessimism just a smidge? I'm not being a pessimist. I'm just being realistic. You're being annoying. Just ignore their bickering and whatever
Pessimists
you do,
always
don't
say they're being
pledge
real.
yourself to her. I cannot stress enough how absolutely catastrophic that would be for everyone, yourself included. I agree. If she's wrongfully imprisoned, then we should rescue her, but if he's telling the truth, we shouldn't just hand her the world on a silver platter. Rescue her? Given the stakes of the situation, there isn't really a difference between rescuing her and pledging yourself to her. Either would be terrible. So please try to ignore both of those knuckleheads and focus on saving the world. Let's not make this harder than it has to be. If that's what you want, I guess I don't have a say here. The interior of the cabin
this is
larger
way
and
different.
more grandiose than its humble exterior would suggest.
This is like a
The
princess
only furniture
castle.
of note is a massive marble altar with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. Why do we feel so small?
Because I have the voice
We
of the
don't
broken
feel
in me.
small.
We are
We are small.
Ugh. Approach the mirror.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall.
Every time there's no
Isn't
mirror
much
here.
to see here. What are you talking about? This isn't a wall. It's a mirror. Or at least it'll be a mirror once we wipe off that layer of grime. You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now.
I look so ridiculous.
We should count ourselves lucky. Some things are better left unseen.
Yeah, voice of the broken would be real upset if they saw what we look like. Take the blade.
You take the blade from the altar. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon.
Now it feels like we're going down to
The door
slay
to
a
the
beast.
basement creaks open, revealing a spiral staircase. Its steps almost as deep as you are tall. The smell of incense drifts up from below. For a moment, you almost feel at ease. This is actually kind of nice. It's still a stone basement. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her booming voice rolls up the stairs.
Is that a guest I hear? Don't linger on the stairs. Come down and witness me.
Okay, I absolutely have to kill her
You
now.
weren't
What is that?
kidding when you said it was booming. She wasn't like this last time. We need to get down there. She wants us to see her. We need to see her. Should we be
now that is a
worried
beast
about your
that the
sudden
hero
change in
has to slay.
attitude? Just a few minutes ago, you were going on about how pointless everything was. Now you want to go down there. It doesn't matter what that little voice says. He's not the one making the decisions. Though if his ramblings get you to the princess, they get you to the princess.
Alright, what are we dealing with
Making
here?
your way down the spiral staircase is a time-consuming and exhausting effort, every step requiring you to clamber over one edge before dropping to the next. But soon the end comes into view, and you tumble to the bottom, entering the vast, temple-like room beyond. The princess towers over you, almost glowing in the weak starlight, her figure framed by a stained glass window. Her long hair billows around her, and a chain binds her wrist to the far wall. The chain is nothing to her. It might as well be a toy for all the good it would do.
What have we done?
I told you it was pointless to resist her.
The little bird has returned to me.
Oh,
I
God.
wonder what he wants. You've brought that knife again, even though you know it's useless. Such charming audacity. Drop it.
You know what? This would be a good vessel for the deity. When she escapes, this vessel will go to the deity. That'd be a good vessel for her. Tighten my grip.
As if on command, the blade slips from your grasp. It clatters uselessly to the floor. But we didn't drop it. We decided to grip it tighter, remember? Are you really just going to let that happen to us? I have a duty to report facts as facts, and the fact is that you dropped the blade.
Damn it.
Of course we dropped it. She's so much more than us. You wouldn't understand what it feels like to be in her presence. Oh, I understand what's going on, and you'd better snap yourself out of it.
Kneel.
No.
Oh, are you still trying to defy me? I said kneel.
Your legs buckle, and your knees hit the floor.
That's my good little bird. Now, why don't we talk? The last time we met, you couldn't even scratch me. And yet here you are again, trying to succeed where you've already catastrophically failed. What draws you back here beyond the empty halls of death? Speak.
The last time we met? I suppose that lends credence to our conversation in the woods. Still, whatever you do, don't tell her why you're here. It's best not to give her any ideas.
You're supposed to end the world.
You weak-willed buffoon.
Is that so?
The princess closes her eyes in contemplation.
She looks capable of ending the world now.
Something about that thought wraps itself around my heart. It feels like a fundamental truth to my being that I'd somehow forgotten. The collapse of the old is a necessary prelude to the birth of the new, and the world as it is now is overdue for alterations. It's time for me to seize my destiny, and you, little bird, will help me seize it.
Another vessel.
She's inevitable. There's nothing else for us to do but help her. Maybe she'll be nice to us.
You can be whatever you want to be. Pledge yourself. What happened to you after I died?
Know the limits of your privilege, little bird. There's an empty place at my side for you to fill, if you'll have it. But it is not a place for an equal. It is a place for something worthy to be kept. A priest, perhaps, or a pet.
What would you have me do? What do you have planned?
All you have to do is break these chains and set me free.
Oh, so cut your hand off? If you're so powerful, can't you just break the chains yourself?
Don't be rude. Of course she can. It's not rude to question someone who's apparently trying to end the world. That's exactly why it's rude. We should know our place.
I can, easily. But that isn't what I want to do. The story of a terrible and bountiful god unbounded of her own will is no story at all. It's not worthy of everything I am, or everything I'm bound to become. It isn't even worthy of what I was.
The destruction in Genesis that's to follow in my wake is deserving of a song that can echo for eternity. The song of you being so struck by my glory, so overwhelmed by what I am, that you feel you must deliver me into the world. And from your act of utter devotion and submission springs a new dawn, a better dawn. Submit now, submit later. It makes no difference. Because in the end, no matter how vainly you struggle against me, my will triumphs over yours.
Just because you're supposed to end the world doesn't mean you have to.
This isn't about desire. This is about what I am. And I have little interest in discussing destiny with one that cannot see the divine truth that shines in my heart.
Chat, what should I do?
Let's try resisting.
I say, perhaps you need another lesson in submitting to your betters. Pick up that needle.
Do it. It's what she wants.
What awful shit
No
are you gonna make me
objections
do with that
here.
needle?
I don't know what she's planning, and I don't like that we don't know what she's planning, but we might as well pick up the blade. As your eye falls on the blade, you feel a weight. Some divine hand that sits unperceived by your senses, but that manages to push you towards its desires like an unseen puppeteer.
Who's doing this? What are you doing? Pick up the
You
blade.
reach forward and grasp the blade.
Stand.
This one's easy. See? This isn't so bad. Okay, yeah. We can do that. We were probably going to stand anyway.
I'm going to kneel here forever. I hate all of you. I really hope she doesn't make me kill myself, like the narrator has several times.
You can feel a creaking tension between body and will as you slowly rise to your feet, like two foes forced into an unhappy truce. The princess eyes you with soft contemplation. The moment seems to last a lifetime, the silent anticipation of what's to come dragging out the long, painful seconds. But all silences are broken eventually.
To define me is to claim we stand on level ground. We do not. You are quiet shadow, while I am brilliant radiance. Take that knife in your hand and slit your throat.
Called it. Called it.
What? You don't have to listen to her. You're armed. Just steel your nerves, step forward, and end this.
I don't have any other option. Oh, I guess end this.
Oh, we'll end this all right. Your hand lifts the blade and brings it towards your throat. Okay, I apologize for the unclear language. End her.
Slay the princess!
Your body is sluggish and unresponsive, actively fighting against you, but you do your best to stagger forward. One step at a time, you move towards the princess.
Slitting your throat would have been a mercy, but it seems you're in need of a harsher lesson. Plunge that knife into your lungs.
I'm sorry. Don't. As you take another step
Aw,
forward,
damn.
the blade digs into your ribs, slicing through flesh with ease. It It somehow feels like an entirely natural thing to do, while the simple act of walking has become an arduous impossibility.
Okay.
Then it slides back out, the wound burning as a small hiss of air escapes through the fresh orifice. Blood fills your lungs.
Now, do it again. Keep doing it until I give you permission to stop.
Those are just words. You don't have to listen to her.
Give me the option to stop.
It's what she wants. You, heroic one, what are you doing? Don't just let this happen. Stop him from killing you. I'm on it. Your other hand locks around your wrist, struggling to keep it from perforating vital organs. The blade still flails towards you, managing to slice bits of skin that plop to the floor to join the growing pile of blood and gore beneath you. Despite the pain, you manage to keep yourself in one piece, at least for now.
What a pitiful display. A wounded little bird, thinking it can defy a god.
I'm just trying to stab non-vital
It doesn't
areas of
have
myself.
to be like this. It doesn't have to hurt so much. You can choose a gentle end. You can choose to leave that punctured vessel for the next.
Slay the princess.
Or you can pathetically struggle against yourself until the floor of this temple is painted with the bloody impressions of your futility.
Continue to approach the princess, even as the repeated gouges of your blade expose bone and muscle to the open air of the basement.
I'm getting closer.
You know, this would be a lot easier if you gave us a hand. My influence only goes so far, and I can only juggle so many things at once. The best I can do right now is to continue to drive you forward. Believe me, this whole ordeal would be so much easier if I didn't have to contend with free will. You're the one making things difficult. You're the one making us hurt. She doesn't want to hurt us. She's just doing what she has to.
Stop.
As you finish crossing the room, you fall to your knees at the princess's feet, your chest heaving as your blood pools in the crevices of the stone floor, the coppery taste coating your throat. The princess kneels down, lifting your chin with her finger as her face lowers to yours.
Your devotion is misplaced. You've surrendered to delusion. But something about your defiant spirit speaks to me. You are different than you were before. Perhaps, if you've learned your lesson, I can spare you from the release of death.
That's a little demeaning, isn't it?
We'll take it.
Yes, how thoughtful of her. It's a mercy. Take it. I think he's given up whatever say he had at the start of all this. At least one of you is sane. She's within striking distance, and she's only negotiating now because she knows you have what it takes to put an end to her. Seize the moment before it's too late.
I'm not pledging myself to you. Slay her.
Yes. Though your body trembles, struggling to defend itself in the face of the princess's overwhelming will, you finally manage to break through, darting to her side before she can react.
Let's go.
The wind of your freedom rushes through you, and you channel it into a decisive blow, stabbing into the soft flesh of her ankle and severing the tendons in an act of unyielding defiance.
We're getting somewhere.
She falls to the floor, crashing unceremoniously to her knees. But you don't give her any time to recover. Your heart pounding with determination, you plunge your blade into her chest.
Did we do it? Did we?
As you find your target again and again, she laughs, crude emotion breaking through her once stony composure as your blade cuts her flesh. We can do this, can't we? You always could. The decision to give you this task was not made lightly. You're here for a reason.
Bro, this feels like the end of the game.
It's not too late to pick up the pieces. It's not too late to toss that blade aside and beg for forgiveness. Shut up.
Shut up, voice of the
I can't believe you
broken.
would actually strike me. You...
Well, now you're actually a threat.
You worm, you defiler! You don't know the consequences of your arrogance!
Before you can strike the final blow, the princess lashes out, knocking you off your feet.
It's like, now you're a genuine threat and I gotta kill you.
There's an unsettling wet pop
Punch.
as your spine breaks, numbness and pain spreading through your body. As you rebound towards the ceiling in a moment of disorientated lightness, she drives her fist into your chest.
Into my
Your
chest?
body is crushed as she pulverizes you into the floor, the ground itself breaking.
Okay.
Impact. You lie there, broken, beyond pain, unable to even see what she's done to you. But the princess is succumbing to her own wounds as well. She looks down upon her body in abject horror and
Which one of us is gonna die first?
You made me use my hands. I can feel myself twisting into something new, something dull, something defiled. What have you done to me?
I've made you
You're
human.
monsters and conspirators. I can't bear to watch this.
The princess has been nothing but cruel to you. You should feel liberated by her fall.
Yeah, shut up, voice of the broken.
But I don't feel liberated. I feel empty.
Aside from the pain, I feel fine.
Yeah, voice of the hero, you nailed it.
She collapses to the floor.
God killer.
Her glassy eyes watch, unblinking, yet somehow still full of anguish and fear, as the two of you perish together. I suppose we were never gonna get a happy ending here, were we?
What do you mean? We slayed the princess.
Don't let those be your final thoughts. You saved the world. That's worth something. I guess.
Yeah, we finally did what the narrator wanted.
Regardless of how you feel about it, it's finally over. Thank you. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Feels good. Feels good. We did good today. Chapter 3. Oh, God. Oh. Voice of the broken?
On a path in the woods. And at the end of the path... Okay, what the hell is that?
Huh?
I think he's upset. And what's he got to be upset about? We just killed a god!
Exactly. You heathens destroyed the most beautiful thing that ever was, and ever will be.
You're damn right we did. You'll get over it. Can't say I have much sympathy for you. She was bad for us and you almost got us killed. You're being too generous. He did get us killed.
Voice of the stubborn, hey.
Alright, enough chatter. I've got a thing I'm supposed to do, and if you don't mind, I'd like to do it without any more interruptions.
What are we doing here? What is this place?
Okay, great, you're listening. You're on a path in the woods.
Something is wrong
The end
here.
of that path is a... If your thing is telling us about the princess, don't waste your breath. We know all about her. It's hardly a path in the woods at this point, is it?
It's like a path in the flesh.
This is just great. Let me cut to the chase. Clearly you've already been here. Yeah, you think?
Actually, I don't think we have been here.
Yeah, this is a new
different.
location.
Isn't it?
Yes, precisely. And if you'd given me 2 seconds to finish my thought, I would have said that. Oh, you're actually letting me talk now. Great. If you've already been here, it means you've seen things you aren't supposed to have seen, and you know things that you aren't supposed to know. This doesn't look like a path in the woods if reality seems distorted. It's because reality is distorted. So you knew this could happen. You knew we'd be able to restart like this.
Yeah, but not like this.
I know all sorts of things, which is why you should listen to me. That's not really an answer. Look, if the world around you is changing, especially all the way out here, then that means you're nearing the point of
We
no
finally
return.
slayed the princess
Whatever
one
happens
time,
next,
and this is where we
that's
end up.
it. There won't be any more do-overs, so you'd better take things seriously. Don't worry. We only need this one last go at things. You'd better hope that's true, and don't let that inflated ego get in the way of doing your job.
If there's still a princess at the cabin, then maybe we can salvage things. Maybe if we just grovel and apologize, things can go back to how they were before.
Oh, cut it out, will you? We need to be tough right now, and you're making it so much harder than it has to be, so stop whining.
You said yourself that you know more than you're letting on. If you want me to go to the cabin, you better tell us everything. Feels like I'm being pulled in 100 different directions. You better all listen to me when the time comes to make a choice. If I don't slay her, if I just stay here and do anything else and we hit this point of no return, then what happens? You better tell us everything.
I can't. Anything I say at this point is far more likely to accelerate the unraveling of this place than it is to actually help you do your job. In fact, I probably shouldn't have even said that. I trust that if you've been here before, it means you know how dangerous she is, and that you know I'm not lying to you about her. Really? That's it? That's all we're getting out of you?
He just wants to keep things going the way they are. But we've been given a second chance to do right by her. She can build something better than this. She can build something better than us. We just have to let her do it.
I get it. You're conflicted. You've been through a lot, but I really have to be firm here. I will tell you one thing, which is that even now you are capable of stopping her and saving the world from ruin. You always have been, and you always will be. Do with that what you will.
All the princess is concerned with is getting more vessels, collecting more vessels for her higher being. Let's see this through.
Good, we're all on the same page. It isn't long before you find yourself at the end of the path, staring up at the cabin on the hill. You'll find the princess within, as I'm sure you already know. End her. That's it? No final words of advice? I'd rather not waste any more time. I'm sure that any advice I'd give at this point is something you've already heard. That's fine by me. Let's get moving. I'm itching for a rematch. The interior of the cabin is a place that feels long forgotten.
There's only a
There
mirror.
was once an elegance to its construction, carved marble columns holding a high arched roof, vaulted windows letting in the weak starlight. But that is how it was. Now there is a growth that has overtaken it. A viscous fluid seeps from cracks in the stone walls, and it congeals into chaotic streaks of writhing nerves and wet clumps of living meat. That's horrible.
You did this.
The only furniture of note is a pulsating pedestal, a pristine blade perched on its edge.
And
the blade is your implement.
And again, you're not
You'll
noticing
need
the
it
mirror.
if you want to do this right.
There's just a mirror where the door used to be. I just imagine the princess this time is like a younger child character, so it's even harder to kill her. Like, morally. It's that mirror again, and this time it's blocking the door.
A mirror? There is no mirror. There's the pedestal, the blade sitting on the pedestal, and the door to the basement. Just to tell us where the door is. I'd like to get back to fighting, and if you want us to kill her so bad, I'm sure you feel the same. No more messing around. I don't know what to tell you. There isn't a mirror because I would know if there was a mirror. You're either seeing things or you're confused on the definitions of door and mirror.
Can we walk
Or you're
into the
seeing
mirror?
things. That seems far more likely. What are you trying to say exactly?
He thinks we've lost it. That we're succumbing to madness, that something in us has broken.
That's an unnecessarily melodramatic way to describe a hallucination, but sure. I'm not going to waste time arguing with any of you. It went away after we touched it last time. Let's just do it again.
Sure. That could work. Take the blade.
You take the blade from the pedestal. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon.
Every time we've taken this blade with
Nothing
us...
feels better than gripping cold steel.
Every time we've taken this blade with us, it's gone horribly wrong.
You step forward and approach the door to the basement.
And even when we don't take the
hesitating
blade, it
before you
shows
open
up.
it. As if you don't see it. You really don't, do you? How strange. It really is just like last time. Are we really hallucinating? Why here? Why now?
Smash it. Smash it to pieces. It's the only thing keeping us from her.
Don't you want to know what we'll see in there? We won't be able to see anything if we smash it. Nah, I'm with him on this one. Smash it! Let's get violent already.
What if we wipe the
Do
mirror and
whatever
it's a
you
wall
want with it.
again,
The
and
mirror
we can't get
isn't
in there?
broken, so how you handle it doesn't matter, aside from wasting dangerous amounts of time.
Hey, Voice of the Broken, you should see what we look like.
You reach forward and drag your hand
Okay.
across the door leading to the basement. As if on command, it slowly slides open, scraping against the stone floor. It's
Probably a different path if we smash it, but whatever.
The path ahead. Why am I not surprised? You step forward into the darkness. The stairs leading down to the basement are at once both narrow and grandiose. A high vaulted ceiling stretches up into a gloom beyond your sight, while walls wet with tumorous growths
Gosh, this
press
place is-
in
this place is so
uncomfortably at your
gross.
sides. You feel both unprotected and trapped, at once exposed and claustrophobic. The air is thick,
Are we inside
its
the princess
odor
right now?
Oppressive violence. The metallic scent of fresh blood twisting with the nauseating embers of charred remains. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice, a bellowing rage, roars up the stairs.
Was severing the tendons of my ascension not enough for you? Was it not enough to rend my divine heart? Come, see the horrors you've wrought upon my flesh, and feel my hands set upon your throat.
She's so angry with us. Why? Why did you desecrate her? Why couldn't I stop you?
Because you're broken,
Got to
obviously.
stop thinking about her like that. It isn't doing anyone any good. She's not some untouchable god. She's an abomination. And we're going to put an end to her once and for all.
Yeah!
It's our fault. If she's an abomination, then what does that make
Oh, we're both
us?
clearly monsters, but
She
I'm
was
here to
gonna
kill
end
her,
the
whatever.
world last time. If I might interject, you didn't make her into an abomination. She's always been what she is. It's why you're here, and it's why your task is so important.
Yeah, Voice of the Broken, it's not our fault that we're here. This just happened.
You make your way to the bottom of the stairs.
She's gonna be like tentacle tied to the place, to the walls.
The chamber's walls are painted
Or not,
in
still
blood,
chained,
a
okay.
deep, sickening red that drips down in clotted streams onto the charred corpses that make
Her
up
heart's
its floor.
exposed, let's get it!
This place reeks of torment, of ripped skin and burning bone. The princess stands in its center, muscles flayed and bare and weeping, draped in a tattered dress of her own skin. Her heart beats from its place in her open chest.
Do you know what I'm going to do to you?
There's not so much a moment of hesitation before she steps forward. Her chains pull taut, holding fast as she strains against them. The cuff around her wrist digs deeper into her skin. Blood drips from the place where metal meets flesh. And then, with a nauseating sound, the skin tears. It plops to the ground, and she pulls her red, glistening arm free from her bindings.
We're gonna have to fight her like a Souls game.
She is loose, and she is coming for you.
Let her end it. It's the punishment you all deserve for what you did to her. It's the punishment I deserve.
Shut
for
up,
letting
Broken.
it happen.
Screw that. We can win. We've done it before, and we'll do it again, only this time we'll make it out the other side. Hell Well, she's practically done most of the work for us.
Let her end you. Given up on destroying the world, have we?
The world hasn't wronged me the way you have. Maybe I'll get around to it eventually, though. Once I've had my fill of you.
She bounds across the room, her fists ready, her heart set upon your destruction. Horrifying squelch. You are unwound.
Holy shit.
I hope you weren't planning on dying. We're going to make this last forever. Huh. I feel cold.
Oh.
I've never felt cold before.
New vessel. Ooh, that was Oh, man. True to her word, you did not die by her hand, nor will you ever. It's time for you to leave, memory. Wow.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now?
This is the end for you, but it's not the end for me.
What is that supposed to mean? Whatever awful thing I felt before, it feels so much worse now.
This is what we all deserve, isn't it?
Screw that. This can't be the end. It just can't.
That's probably a really bad vessel to add to that big thing. That one's evil. You approach the mirror. Silence as you reach forward. They're gone once again. The mirror always makes them leave, but you need to see what's in it. You've withered. Oh God, what have I done?
I am a growing chorus of contradiction, a mass of tides ebbing and flowing all at once in more directions than my attention can bear to hold. To look at any one is to shift them all into something new, and to look away is to reshape them yet again. All of me is changing, and yet the rest of me is still the same.
You can't be a contradiction. Contradictions don't exist. Do you know what happens to the world we leave behind? Do you still not care what I bring you? It doesn't matter how many times I go back, at least one of us always hurts the other. Doesn't that change you? Doesn't that make you worse?
It changes me, but it doesn't make me worse, nor does it make me care for you any less. Does it make you worse? Do you resent me?
I just want it all to stop.
It will, in time, but you still have a ways to go before we are done. Know that I hold no malice for you.
What do you think of this vessel?
This one is desecration. She placed the weight of her agony on you, yet it is she who unwound herself. But there is passion and empathy in her misery. She will make for a burning heart. Do not mourn her. She has finally found peace.
Do you still not care what I bring you?
I care about your gifts, but I have no preferences to burden you with. Even if I did, I would never dare to tarnish our relationship by assuming myself above you.
How many more vessels do I need to bring you?
We will know when we near our destination.
I'm ready to go back.
I will be here when it is time for us to meet again.
An unwound vessel. Bring the fury to her.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her.
Oh, man. Oh my god, this game. Am I gonna be emotionally drained whenever I record this game? Because if so, that's a good game. This game takes a lot out of me. Oh, I will see you folks next time in the grand video game. Slap the panini.